Hello friends, Ace Botane next episode. In this episode, we'll be discussing morphology of flowering plants, fifth one. Now one more needed to finish families. So next item, when we discuss first year topic, it will be families. So we can enter into the topic. So for convenience, I will share the screen so it will be easy for you. I think screen came, so we can proceed. Morphology of flowering plants, fifth one. So what all things we'll be discussing in this episode as usual, there will be an introduction. Then main item will be fruit. What is a fruit? Parts of a fruit, types of fruit. Now what is a seed? Structure of seed, types of seeds. Then as usual, 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with a key. So we can proceed as an introduction. So here we discuss fruits and seeds. What is the importance of it? First, they are produced after sexual reproduction. And they are involved in continuation for the next generation. That is, playing a crucial role for pollination of that species in this world. I think idea clear. Now we can proceed to fruit. So what is a fruit? Most simple definition, fruit is a mature or ripened ovary developed after fertilization. And one interesting item is, even though different groups of plants are available in plant kingdom, highest plant group, that is Angiosperms, they have only fruits. Means fruit is developing from ovary. So together, Angiosperm is the only plant group where we can find ovary as well as fruit, then seed. So ovary, fruit, then seed. So both can be seen. That is, fruit and seed can be seen in Angiosperm. I think idea clear. First page is clear. Now we can proceed to second page. So a modification for fruit that is called parthenocarpic fruit. What is meant by parthenocarpic? Honeybees will be studying parthenogenesis, male honeybee production. So here, parthenocarpic fruit, a fruit formed without fertilization of the ovary. Ovary in the sense, egg, etc. That is fertilization of the ovary. It is called parthenocarpic fruit. This is how NCERT explains in page number 65 as in banana. Suppose if seed is useful or edible part. In such a case, if we do parthenocarpy, seed production will not be there, so no advantage for it. So the seed useful or edible, there if you do parthenocarpy, no use, it will be waste. Typical example is coconut and annar, where main use part will be connected with the seed. In annar, what we are consuming is juicy acidic tester. Coconut, you know. Next is parts of a fruit. So basically, a fruit consists of two parts. One is fruit wall, other is seeds. Fruit wall is otherwise called pericarp, which may be dry or fleshy. When pericarp is thick and fleshy, then only it is differentiated into outer epicarp, middle mesocarp, and inner endocarp. So 3 layers can be seen when pericarp is thick and fleshy. Clearly, we can observe outer epicarp, middle mesocarp, inner endocarp. This diagram belongs to NCERT, labeling question, etc. Further, we'll be discussing a type of fruit, all these things. We can proceed to next page. So when we come to third page, we can find a true fruit develops from ovary. That is the classical definition for a fruit. A true fruit develops from ovary. If any parts or any other parts develops as fruit, it is called false fruit or pseudocarp. So typical fruit is from ovary. If any other parts other than the ovary develops as a fruit, it is pseudocarp. Typical example is pear and apple. And pear and apple, that is both case, edible part is fleshy thalamus and type of fruit is palm. I think idea clear. Again, this picture brought back, that is concerned with a term drupe. So coconut and mango, we can find the type of fruit is drupe. So what is a drupe? Or what is a specific feature? Fruit that a drupe has got outer fleshy part, that is epi and mesocarp. And there will be a hard endocarp with the seed. That is why the drupe is often called stone fruits. Typical example, coconut and mango, stone fruit. I think idea clear. Now we can continue. In mango, national fruit of India, Mangifera indica, mesocarp is fleshy and edible. While in coconut, mesocarp is fibrous. And edible part in coconut is endosperm. So edible part in coconut is endosperm. Now, basically 3 types of fruits. Simple fruit, aggregate fruit, multiple or composite fruit is a typical basic classification connected with NCERT. So what is a simple fruit? See, most simple way when we define the simple fruit develops from a syncarpous ovary with a single flower, or a syncarpous ovary of the single flower. May or may not have accessory part. Typical example is coconut and mango. Now comes aggregate fruit. Aggregate fruit develops from polycarpillary. So many carpels will be there. They're free, not united. So it is apocarpous ovary. So aggregate fruit develops from polycarpillary apocarpous ovary. 2 typical example photograph also given there. One is strawberry, other is raspberry. And when we say aggregate fruit, there is a typical term specific to this fruit. Etarium is a term in connection with the aggregate fruit formed from multiple ovaries, which is otherwise called fruitlets, within a single flower. I think idea clear. Now we can proceed to last group of fruits, that is multiple fruit. So multiple fruit is also called composite fruit. Multiple fruit is also called composite fruit. Is a group of fruitlets. Fruitlet means small fruit, which develops from entire inflorescence. So multiple fruit develops from entire inflorescence. And 2 categories can be formed. One is called sorosis. The fruit develops from either from a spike or female catkin. That is sorosis. Typical example is jackfruit, mulberry, pineapple. Well, another form is called synchronous. Develops from hypanthodian type of inflorescence. Typical example is fig. I think both clear. Direct NCERT, this much details may not be there, but still, soros and synchronous, odd one question. Jackfruit, mulberry, pineapple, and fig. Odd one is fig because it is synchronous, other 3 sorosis, multiple fruit. Synchronous also it is there, but it is hypanthodian type. Now comes seed. So when we come to seed, there is a famous statement. Seed is a physiological enigma because having life of the next generation. So difficult to define, that is the meaning, seed. With that, we can enter. Study of seed is called spermology. That is why the term gymnosperm, angiosperm, naked seed and covered seed. So spermology deals with the study of seed. Now what is a seed? Ovules after fertilization develops into seed. A seed is made by seed coat and an embryo. Embryo, when we analyze in its own way, it is having a radical embryonal axis and 1 or 2 cotyledon. One is in monocot like wheat and maize, 2 cotyledon in dicots like gram and pea. I think idea clear. We can proceed to next page. Now we have to analyze 2 types of seeds. So structure of dicot seed, structure of monocot seed, just like embryogeny. Dicot embryogeny, monocot embryogeny. There are 3 basic terms: seed coat, embryo, endosperm. That is, we'll be analyzing. Now, right off the picture, I put certain words and statements. Bitechmic, what is the meaning? Ovules with the 2 integuments, as in the case of angiosperm. Unitechmic, ovules with the 1 integument, as in the case of gymnosperms. And etechmic, where we can find ovules without integument, as in the case of parasitic plants like sandalum, sandal tree. Now, left side, seed coat, embryo, endosperm, that is what we are going to discuss. Remember, this is a labeling question, NCERT diagram, figure 5.14. Because 2 quadrants are clear, that is why it becomes dicot. Phylum, micropyle, that all will be explained. Now comes seed coat. Coat generally means a covering. Bacteria also we studied it. Function of a coat or a covering is usually protection. It is the outermost layer. That is how it is able to protect. Seed coat normally develops from integuments. So outer integument, inner integument. So outer covering is called testa, while inner one is called tegument. So outer testa, inside it another layer that is called tegument. And there is a scar you can find here. It is coming, hilum and micropyle. So there is a scar on the seed coat. What is the purpose? Through which developing seeds are attached to the fruit. That scar is nothing but hilum. It is labeled here, hilum. And there is a small pore called micropyle above the hilum. You can find it. Micropyle is labeled above the hilum. That is what that hilum and micropyle. Now, in cotton plant, Cotton is Gossypium, Malvaceae family, cotton family, hibiscus family. What is this cotton fibers? They are epidermal outgrowth of testa, and chemically it is cellulosic. That is why Malvaceae is called cotton family. I think idea clear, picture also clear, everything clear. Now we can proceed to next. Next page we can proceed. So next is embryo. When we come to embryo, it is the most important part of the seed, since this embryo develops into the plant. It is normally diploid to end, and there is an embryonal axis that is often called tigellum and two cotyledon. Reserved food material is seen in cotyledon. Embryonal axis have two ends. One is upper part, plumule, shoot system will be developing. Other is lower part, radical, root system will be developing. Now, endosperm. So, endosperm is normally nutritive tissue for the developing structure. In angiosperm, endosperm is triploid. Secondary nucleus and one male nucleus through a procedure called double fertilization. That is why double fertilization is unique to angiosperm. Endosperm persists even in mature seed. Such seeds are called endospermous seed, as in the case of monocot, example maize. Remember, Solanaceae, dicot, tomato family also show this endospermous seed. If endosperm is not present in the mature seed, it is called non-endospermous seed, as in the case of dicot P and B. I think endosperm part is clear. Now we have to proceed to monocot seed. So dicot seed is over. Now it is monocot seed. Two diagram of the second one is a famous question for labeling also. Then that's endosperm, scutellum, polyepithelial polymer is a labeling question. Aleron layer. Generally, monocot seeds are endospermic, but exception is the orchids. Orchids, it is non-endospermic nature is seen. While in seeds of cereals such as maize, that photograph is given there, maize seed, the seed coat is membranous and generally fused with the fruit wall. The endosperm is bulky and stores food. Outer covering of endosperm separates the embryo by a proteinaceous layer called aleurone layer. It is a usual question. Aleurone layer means aleurone layer is basically proteinaceous. That is why aleroplast, plast in connection with the protein. Here it is aleurone layer, proteinaceous. I think up to that it is clear. Now we can proceed to next page. Now, the embryo is small and situated in a groove at one end of the endosperm. It consists of a massive or large and shield-shaped cotyledon called scutellum, question, and a short axis with the premolar radical, respectively enclosed by sheaths called coleoptile and coleorhiza. That is plumule, coleoptile, radical, coleorhiza. Since it is a monocot, what happens to the other cotyledon in monocot? So one will be suppressed. That is how it becomes monocot. And suppressed cotyledon monocot is called epiblast. Now we can proceed to perispermic seed. So what is meant by perisperm? Perisperm is connected with the nucellus. Nucellus is diploid, so perisperm is also diploid. Endosperm and angiosperm is triploid. Endosperm and gymnosperm is haploid. So perisperm diploid, endosperm and angiosperm triploid, etc. So normally, nucellus also may be consumed after fertilization due to absorption of food. So endosperm also a nutritive tissue, and embryo will be utilizing it. But in some cases, nucellus remain persistent in the seed, and such seeds are called perisperm or perispermic seed. Perisperm is the remnants of nucellus. Perisperm is diploid, while original nutritive tissue is supposed to be endosperm, that is triploid. If perisperm is remaining even after consumption, it is called perispermic seed, as in the case of black pepper and a beet. Famous question, example is famous. Yeah. So remember, ploid of the perisperm is diploid. Endosperm in angiosperm is triploid. Endosperm in gymnosperm is haploid. Now question 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. So hoping that it is clear, so we can just rewind what all things we discussed in this episode. So the fifth part of the chapter 5, morphology of flowering plants. Exam point of view, entrance and theory important. And we introduce the topic like fruits, what is the need, seed, what is the need, etc. And when we say seed, there is a famous statement that I forget to say. Anybody can count number of the seeds in an apple. But only God can count number of apples in a seed. That is why seed is supposed to be physiological enigma. That all I written there. Very difficult to define and very important for the maintenance of life. Okay, we can continue. So fruit we started. Of introduction, what is a fruit? Then different types of fruits like parthenocarpic fruit. Yeah. Parthenocarpic fruit, why it is called so. Then parts of a fruit, fruit wall, seed, etc. Pericarp, epicarp, mesocarp, endocarp. Then coconut and mango. There is section with the labeling. Then we entered into false fruit or pseudocarp other than the ovary. Example is pear and apple, thalamus, both case converted into edible part. Then drupe, coconut and mango, it is drupe, that is stony endocarp. Then in mango, mesocarp is fleshy and edible. In coconut, mesocarp is fibrous. And in coconut, edible part is endosperm. 3 types of fruit, simple, aggregate, multiple. How they differs with example, simple, coconut, mango. Aggregate, that is strawberry and raspberry, where we discussed the term etario. Then multiple fruit from entire inflorescence. There are 2 types, rhosis and synchronous. Examples include for multiple fruit, that is jackfruit. Typical example is jackfruit. Then fig, all this. Mulberry, pineapple, and hypanthodian type inflorescence, that is synchronous fig. Then we entered into seed. Seed is a physiological enigma. Then seed, study of seed, I forget this, it is called spermology. What is a seed? Ovules after fertilization develop into seed. Then structure of monocot seed and dicot seed, bitechmic, unitechmic, ectechmic. Then seed coat, integments, that is outer integument, inner integument, cotton, epidermal outgrowth of testa. Then we entered into embryo, diploid, embryonal axis, digellum, 2 cotyledon, then endosperm, 3N, function, nutritive tissue. Then endosperm persists even after maturation, endosperm over before maturation, so that way it is endospermous and non-endospermous seed. Then structure of monocot seed, endospermic generally, orchid exception. Then we can find endosperm is bulky and stores food. Outer covering of endosperm separate the embryo by a layer called proteinaceous layer called aleurone layer with a triploid nature. Then scutellum, single large shield-shaped cotyledon. Then there is coleoptile, coleorhiza, pymul radical. Suppressed cotyledon monocot is called epiblast. Then we entered into perispermic seed, that is remnants of nucellus, not fully consumed. So nucellus remain, nucellus is diploid, endosperm is triploid. And remnants of nucellus persist in the seed, it is called perispermous seed. Example is black pepper and wheat. Then 5 theory question, 5 NEET model question with the key. So hoping that it is clear to all of you. If you like this episode, subscribe on, like it, share it, comment on it. We can meet later with another item. So for time being, we can wind up. Thank you.